Man, oh man. I was on some old man stuff today, boy. I'm not even going to tell you guys what I did. You'll start getting the notifications in a minute, though, and hopefully you guys will start popping in. I was like, where is everybody? Hold on. Yeah, shout out to Cherry hitting me up. I just happened to look down at the phone. I'm like, why is she texting me? And I started looking around at the logo. I'm like, man, I'm tripping. I'm so. I told you guys, though, this whole online thing, I'm great at a lot of things. I think I'm good at a lot of things, but not good at some things. You know what I'm saying? Sagara, what's up, man? Happy Friday. Hopefully everybody will start popping in here. What's up, Cherry? How you doing? Man, I'm gonna tell you guys what I did in a minute when I get a couple minute people in here. Y'all gonna laugh at me, man. I was on time. I wasn't late. Um, oh yeah, I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna show up. I think in 2 years of doing the lives, well, I haven't been on YouTube that long, but I was on Instagram most of the time. And I was doing it for 2 years straight. I just had my 2 year anniversary like a couple months ago. And I think I only missed like one Friday, maybe two Fridays in 2 years. But the thing is that what's up, Revision? How you doing? The thing is, I wasn't on YouTube, so that was my bad. I was over there on Instagram, but I'm not hating on Instagram because that's where I met everybody at. So I met all y'all, my family. What's up? What's up? What's up? So just you guys, I'll tell you guys since you guys are in here right now. I went live on the wrong channel. Uh, I have like three different channels. I got a Smash Coast TV channel, a Smash another channel, and got too many YouTube channels, man, where I was trying to do stuff and procrastinated. And I had was looking on that channel for something this morning, and then when I ran in here to hop on the live, I just went live on there. And it's funny because I was gone, man. I'm on there. I recorded it too, so I'm gonna download it and post it on here. It's hilarious, but I'm on there just gone, man. I'm talking and I'm not even gonna repeat the stuff I was dropping on there, but it was some good stuff. I don't want to mess it up. And then I got to looking around and my phone is down here on the side here. So I just saw that it went off. And when I looked down, I saw that it said cherry and like it just flashed on and then like the screen went black. I was like, what is she texting me for? She knows I'm on the live. And then I looked up and looked at the logo. You see the logo up in the corner. There was a SC right there. And I was like, oh crap, I'm on the wrong thing, man. It's too much. I was thinking when I was getting ready today that I'm really gonna have to take some time here when the dust settles because we're working on some projects right now to I know I got a couple buddies that can set me up with like what do they call it, a stream deck where you can assign stuff to the buttons and if I wanted to like screen share right now and this and that, I could just hit a button and this and that and set me up for podcasting and doing it, streaming the way I'm supposed to because um I'm fumbling through it, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you. If I really dedicated myself and really put time into it, then yeah, I'd be good at it. But like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, so you see the grades, right? We're gonna get into everything. Trust me, I'm just running my mouth real quick. I'm happy to see y'all, so just let me go through my motions real quick. Um, a lot of guys in my age group that I came up doing music with, uh actually I should say watching producing music, because I was actually a singer, singing in a singing group and all that stuff. Like, we were dope too. In the harmony, our influences were Take Six and Boys to Men, and our, I guess you could say, our style was more like Jodeci style. We had more of a street style, but we paid a lot of attention to vocals. And I was this guy until almost 30 years old. I was like in my late 20s before I really started to get into producing music, right? Um, so the guys in the town that were producing music, the ones that I looked up to, they were super dope. I won't name names, but there was a lot of them that were, really, really dope, like industry level dope, right? And so time goes on, some of them had success, a lot of us didn't, because you know how it goes. You're trying to get into the music industry, and chances are you're not going to get into the music industry. Um, and so um, a lot of those guys, uh, their production got stale. I'm not gonna be long-winded about it. Like, over time, their production got stale. So they're just basically, they didn't keep their sword sharp, you know, for a lot of reasons. Life stepped in, whatever, but they didn't keep producing music. Not only did they not keep producing music, but they didn't keep up on producing music, like sounds and whatever they needed to do to keep their sword sharp so they could sound dope, keep their fingerprint, but still sound current and not sound dated. A lot of the guys sound dated now. I, what do they say? Don't meet your heroes or whatever. A lot of those guys that I looked up to, I'm like, and I hear some of that music now, and it's disappointing because it doesn't mean that they don't have that talent. But it's just like, if you're working out, if you stay in the gym and you working out and everybody sees you and you all cut, you and your fitness, and then you take time off and you don't do that. Next time people see you, you're gonna have a belly, a gut, you know you'll have the ability to do probably the things that you did before, but you won't be able to do them to the extent that you were doing them. And that's like, I refuse to be that guy, man. I'm not gonna get stale. I'm gonna keep my sword sharp. I keep my finger on the pulse of what's youthful, what's trending. Um, and Sync has has helped me in that regard immensely. Um, Before we get into the wins and all of that, um, I was thinking the other day about, like, just the benefits of Sync, period. Just the benefits of what kind of person uh is going to turn you into from what you were before. Because in order to be successful in Sync, there's a lot of things you got to be. Like, you got to be, motivated, you got to be organized, you can't quit, you got to persevere, and this and that. You guys all know, I don't need to go through the list or whatever. But the thing is that we're talking about taking intellectual property, we're taking music that we create, and we're trying to monetize it, create careers out of it. So in order to make consistent money doing anything, you got to have your business straight. So that's one thing about Sync that's dope, is because it'll take a music creative that didn't really operate in the business lane at all before. They're just in the lab making music and being creative and trying to get on, so to speak, trying to get chose, and um, decided to take matters into their own hands. And so when they decided to do that, now there's A through Z steps that you got to take, and during that process, you're gonna learn some stuff. And by the time you get to the point where you're actually successfully pitching music to someone and they're accepting music or whatever, you've learned a whole new skill set. Like, you done signed up with the PRO, you know about publishing, writers, and you're talking about splits and shares, and you might have even studied like music supervision and scoring and maybe even theory. I know guys that are not learning theory because they're trying to get into video games and trailers and scoring and that kind of thing, and so they have to up their skill set. A lot of you guys are making music that you never ever would have made otherwise. You never would have been producing the types of genres or styles of music that you're doing if it wasn't for Sync, which means that you guys are a lot doper creatively than you would have been if you hadn't chosen Sync as a pathway. And so, I'm not gonna sit here and be on Sync soapbox all on your Friday, taking your time up. But I was just thinking about how, like, me personally, it changed me when I started doing Sync early 2000s. um I didn't even know I could do this. I didn't even know I could have a whole squad of people and run a company like I'm running. I knew I was smart enough to do it, but it wasn't on my radar. But circumstances happen. You guys know the story. Um, and and every time an opportunity arose, like I took advantage of it. But I learned at every step. And so eventually you're gonna learn so much to where it's like, okay, now I can take a bigger step. I can go from this to this. It doesn't necessarily have to be a company like mine, but you could do a music collective where you guys are doing, collaborations on a large scale, whatever, like whatever it is. But the thing is that choosing sync is going to lead you to places that not choosing sync never would. And not just by getting placements, but by increasing your knowledge and educating yourself and exercising that discipline and staying in the game or whatever. So it's just a dope thing to be in. And those of you that stay in it and grind it out, you usually win in a lot of ways, not just with getting placements. There are guys that have gone on to do some great things with not getting a million placements, but creating relationships with people in the industry and then being able to pivot and do certain things or whatever. So what's up, y'all? It's the producer whisper again. We back on Friday. Uh, I'm on the right page now. I just let 15 minutes go by on the wrong page, so that's my bad. We're gonna post that on this page. Geez, you're gonna see the end of that. Y'all gonna be cracking up, man. I don't know, no excuse, but we here. So I'm glad to see y'all, man. Sync hustle mindset. We talk about all things sync, hustle, and mindset. We got to talk about the hustle, man, because the mindset, man, because if your mindset is impaired, your hustle is impaired, and we fix that here. So you guys know what we doing, man. Let's go to the wins. I'm anxious to see what happened this week. It's been a crazy week. The writer strike is almost over, baby. Hey, while we getting into the wins, is the writer strike officially over? The last I heard was Tuesday that they were sitting down. Talks were tentative, but it's looking like they're going to come up with something that's very beneficial to the writers. I mentioned this in the other video 15 minutes ago on the wrong page. I'm gonna go ahead and just tell you. I'll be the first to tell you guys I was skeptical, and I told you, you guys remember, I said I don't know when they're gonna come up with a solution because I had no idea what they were gonna be able to come up with regarding streaming and AI, and I still don't. But I also said if you go back, that the only thing that I thought that they could do on the streaming side is that the studios could just pay them more money out of pocket. They could just give them more money to compensate for the fact that streaming is cutting into their bread, and that the streaming platforms, the way that they produce shows, is also cutting into their scheduling. The summer times, and like it's a bunch of stuff going on. So I figured that the studios, because they got the deep pockets, would be able to pay them something. I don't know if that's the case. You guys let me know. And then with the AI, I predicted that the only thing that I thought they would be able to do with AI was basically let the writers know when AI could be used in something ahead of time, so they're not replacing them, maybe giving the writers an opportunity to work with AI, some new positions created with some high income there or whatever, like prompting engineers, something like that. Who knows? But and then maybe give them an opportunity to opt in or opt out of that piece of media that's going to be using AI. I don't see them not using AI because it's too beneficial. Um, uh, I just don't see them not using it because it's too beneficial. Like every wave of say like Pixar, for instance, every wave of animated cartoons, well, I won't say cartoons, but animated features that they come out with looks better than the last because every time they drop some stuff, they're running to a new technology. Or well, now we can shoot this way, we can make the hair look even better now, or we can make things flow even better. Like, so you know the phone that you guys have in your pocket right now is better than the camera that you guys have on your phone right now is better than the cameras that they were filming TV with 20 years ago. Now dig that. 2 decades ago, they wasn't filming in 1080 and 4K for sure on television. So every season they're trying to up the game, especially when they're competing against each other. The networks are and these shows or whatever. So everybody wants to be able to produce something quickly and efficiently for the lowest cost possible. So I say all that to say AI is coming. It's already here. Uh, I'm still skeptical. I don't know what it is about that, but according to the news, everything is looking optimistic. The writers are, feeling like there's going to be substantial gains to whatever the agreement comes to, and I just can't wait to see it, man. I can't wait to see it. Um, I'm hoping that they could just get back to work, and I'm not even hating on them going on strike, man, because uh, they got to eat, And I feel for the writers too because they are like, they're in an antiquated industry, and technology is coming for them. They got to feed their kids and their families and stuff too. So I'm just hoping that there's a way that they could stay on, stay making money, stay creating great shows and great content for us. And AI doesn't come in and wipe them out. And yeah, I stand in solidarity with them for sure. So let me go to the comments and look at these wins. Yeah, live bloopers, man. Live TV. What's up, Shay Keys? How you doing? A lot of new genres. Once you learn to do, you end up building exactly. Exactly. What's up, Aglo? What's up? I remember hearing they came to agreement. The writer strike seems to be over, but they just cranked up a video game strike with a 98% yes vote. Oh, wow. In regards to motion capture in games and stuff. Wow. You used to have buttons on your phone. Yep. Yep. So we're in the win section, you guys. What happened this week? A video game strike, huh? That's interesting. Let's check that out. Come on now, Cherry. Segura, I know you guys got wins for me. What? SAG-AFTRA, the union that represents actors and voice actors in the United States, voted to authorize a strike against 10 major video game companies. The vote was 98.32% in favor of a strike authorization, with 34,687 members casting ballots. The strike authorization covers members covered under SAG-AFTRA's interactive media agreement, which includes video game voice actors. The strike authorization means that the national board can call a strike. Video game voice actors have tried to negotiate a contract with the gaming studios for over a year. They're prepared to strike for more pay and protections. Again, how much you bet those protections have to do with technology? You're talking about motion capture, right? That's having people come in and put those suits on with those dots all over them, and they're actually acting. Look up some YouTube videos of some of those performances. Like they're acting in those suits. They're not just jumping around and leaping and stuff. A lot of the time they're doing, the face mapping, and they're speaking the lines and all of that, man. And so obviously I assume some sort of AI or something is going to be able to relieve them from their jobs. So they want some protections from that, as they should. You can't just come in and be like, well, come into work one day and be like, there's a robot at your station. Like, well, you don't work here anymore, bro. You know what I mean? So Cherry says, reached out to an independent film producer and agent for possible future opportunities, still working on cues. So fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis to Cherry right there, because she just dropped a jewel on y'all and y'all don't even know. Every town that you guys are in right now, whatever city you guys are in, you guys have independent filmmakers. A lot of them independent filmmakers are going to blow up. At the very least, they're going to put those independent films in front of as many people as they possibly can. And there's no reason why you can't have your music in some of it. Now, keep in mind, they're independent filmmakers, and making independent films costs a lot more money than making independent music. And so a lot of these independent filmmakers don't have great budgets. So you're going to have to do some bartering, maybe work with somebody you feel in or whatever, case by case basis. But you do want to put your music in these situations. And a lot of time, they do have a budget. Generally speaking, 10% of a film budget uh, goes to the music. A lot of time, if you're Quentin Tarantino, that could be, 40, 50% damn near, like all of the music that he wants in his movies. But I'm saying that there's some pocket money there, sometimes a little bit better than pocket money, but there's always opportunities to get your music heard, put your music in situations where it normally wouldn't be, and to create some new working relationships. You don't know where these people going to end up. You don't know where you're going to end up. You might be able to reach back and hire that whole film company for something that you're doing later on, when you get that super bag and you have your own studio or whatever. So you never know. So fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis to lady producer once again. And she's still working on cues. So Sagara says, my win is just working my butt off this week. You know what I'm saying? You do that when you're grateful. When you wake up grateful, you put that work in. Sorry, y'all. Rendered out about 100 stems to deliver to a library. Me and the homie Jay Matthews have been getting it in. Did cues, etc. So fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis. Sagara Productions always, as always, coming with that work ethic. Revision Music says, this year marked 1 year in sync for me. Congratulations. Happy anniversary, man. Fire emojis for that. Got my first cue sheet and landed a promo on TLC that aired at least 50 times. Man, is there like a backflip emoji? Triple fire emojis for Revision Music, man. Very motivational, showing you guys what can be done. He's a year in and over 50 placements in the game. Yeah, and one of these lives, man, we're going to talk about how to parlay those placements into a bigger position for yourself. Once you get to where you have a substantial amount of placements, it doesn't matter what them placements paid. If it was money up front or just back end, whatever. But once you get a certain amount on your resume that's substantial, you got to start moving different, man. You can't keep moving the same way like you don't got a bulging resume. And that's not saying get copy and start demanding all green Skittles in a bowl and my my drinking water got to be Mountain Spring at 97.6 degrees and all that. But I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis to everybody. To everybody. To Revision, my bad. I'm just giving them away. What's up, Wan Chi? How you doing? Welcome back. Team Smash Coast. Wan Chi Zhang up in here. And that's what it's all about. I'm reading the comments right now. Sagara saying, waiting for that first cue sheet as a ride. That's it right there, man. That's it. It comes down to, because if you want to do it, you're going to learn all the stuff. We talk about this damn near every week. You're going to learn the stuff. You're going to learn how to do sting out. You're going to learn how long the cue should be. You're going to do your due diligence. You're going to, seek out those situations where Your music is going to be best fit instead of just throwing darts against the wall and hoping that it sticks. You're going to do all these things, right? But then you're going to have to start pitching that music and waiting, pitching that music and waiting. And 9 times out of 10, I know I did it. You make a bunch of good music, you send it out, you damn near know they're gonna hit you back. You damn near knowing oh yeah, I'm gonna get this. And then week turns into 2 weeks, turns into a month, turns into 3 months, and you didn't get no answer. And that right there, just that at that moment, at the very first interaction with you trying to do something, that's where a lot of people quit. A lot of people would be done right there. Like as soon as they go out, you know, it's like, you got two types of people, man. Like, you know, you got people that like you can just tell them no. Hey, I want this for my life. Can I have access to this? No. And then they'll turn around and be like, okay, well, thank you. I asked. And then you got people that aren't going to accept no. They're not going to accept closed doors. They'll wait around until that door opens. They'll do what they need to do. They'll persevere. And that's what this game is. And it's to be expected because like, you know, I ranted about it last week. This is television. You're trying to get your music on television, not just one time. One time is a great accomplishment, let alone 50 times. But as a career, consistently, you want to be able to get your music on air over and over and over again and be able to target your music to places, make the kind of music that you can send over to these types of opportunities and this and that. Like it takes a certain skill set and it takes time to learn that skill set. It's not just about sending your music somewhere and then they place it. What if that's the case? What if they place your music? Now they, hit you like, okay, we want 50 of these, or we want you to do this, or we want you to do that. You know, you got to stay in the game, man. I'm in the game 20 years now. Uh, um, just about 20 years. I'd say about 19 years officially, but about 20 years. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning because sync is always evolving. There's always technology involved. Uh, the way that we do metadata and all kinds of stuff, like it's always evolving. The needs of the clients are always changing. Music from season to season, you guys know, is always changing, so the needs are always changing. um some of these companies come and go. Music supervisors are the positions that these people are in. Sync agents and they come and go, they advance this and that. um you interact with them, so over time you're going to build relationships. You're learning the whole time, right? But quitting right at the beginning means that you just cheated yourself out of an infinite amount of information, an infinite amount of opportunities and chances to learn and better yourself. You don't know what kind of monster you're going to turn out to be after you stay in this game and do sync. Like I said, I never saw Smash Coast coming. 100 plus people sign on the team now. I ain't gonna tell you how many placements we got because it's gonna seem like I'm boasting, but you guys see like the kind of placements we get. It took a long time to learn how to do that. I knew how to produce music, but to learn how to speak to these people where we can get commercials, we can Burger King and McDonald's and whoever other placements we got or whatever. Um, it took a long time to get to that place to where, you know, I will say the levels are higher, the sync fees are definitely higher, the stakes are higher. So these companies aren't gonna risk their livelihoods or their relationship with their clients, you know, at all. They're not going to risk anything. So by the time you're at that point talking to them, you're seasoned. You've made your mistakes. You've fallen on your face. Like you've gotten back up. You've got know what it you know that it's gonna be no before it's yes. And that's another thing that people don't realize before they get in the game. They're running on their ego. They think it's just the music, and they're like, okay, they're gonna hit me back because this music is dope. Nah, most of the time it's no before it's yes. It's no, 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 no. Sometimes 100 times before it's yes. Like you hear stories. Well, Segura, you said how many years you went um before you got a yes. So we're not even gonna get into all of that again, but um waiting for that first cue sheet is a ride for sure. Waiting for anything is a ride, but I told my partner Kim when she first came, you know, and something that I learned over the years, like when you plant your seeds, don't watch the dirt. Plant your seeds, water them mugs, don't watch the dirt. Don't sit around and wait for them things to sprout. Keep it moving, do something else, learn another skill. And next thing you know, you're gonna be looking at a forest full of trees that you planted. That's what I'm looking back with on now at Smash Coast. I just put my head down. I put my head down. And each opportunity that came, I tackled it. I didn't worry about what how much I got paid. I didn't worry about the royalties. I didn't worry about none of that. I just made sure the business was straight and I did the work and I wanted to stack up as much work as I could. And once I was able to stack up a certain amount of work at a certain types of work, you know, a diverse catalog of work, I should say, portfolio of work, then it allowed me to pivot and have different conversations, you know, with different peers. And so instead of going to music supervisors, now I'm talking to other sync companies and other, you know, agents and libraries and other entrepreneurs and, you know, things of that nature, making those kind of relationships. You know, it was it's just dope what being patient can do for you in this game. So shout out to all of y'all all of you guys that are sticking with it. And Segura for the great comment. So Juan Chi says, my win is completed a creative brief for my advertising midterm project. Beautiful, beautiful. Fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis to Juan Chi. So Juan Chi is in school. And in case you guys don't know, she is interning with Smash Coast right now. Juan Chi, you can tell people like, you know, where you're in school or anything you want to tell them yourself. I'm not going to take the spotlight from you. But we already love her to death, man. She's a hard worker. I could tell that as soon as I interviewed her, and we're looking forward to great things. But her thing is that she wants to get into advertising, man. She has a particular company that she wants to get with, and it's cool because it's a company that we happen to work with. Um, we're building a relationship up now, so great things coming. So fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis. Don't get me sidetracked here. I get to run in my mouth. Okay, so what's up, V Spell? How you doing? Wanchi is back for the fire emojis. I love it. I love it. A very high amount of no's before that first yes. Yeah, but that first yes is that first yes is so sweet. It's worth the wait. That's what I'm saying. Those of you that haven't gotten that first yes yet, when you get it, it's gonna be like fire up under your ass for real. Like you're gonna light up like a firework for real. Because let me tell you real quick before I go back into the wins again. Um, in the beginning, I just put my head down. So like me and the dude I was working with, like we were just like beats, 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 get him the TV, get him the TV, get him the TV. Um, this was my very, very first experience with sync, right? So even though I was doing it, there was a part of me that wasn't sure it was, you know, it was new. I wasn't sure it was gonna work, right? I was trusting this dude. Um, I was hearing the music on TV. Like it was to the point where like we were moving so quickly, like we would turn music in and hear music that next week, you know, on the show. So like the very next week, we turn it in, we hear the music the very next week. And then I'm hearing a ton of my music on TV or whatever, right? So, you know, good times. Those were good times, man. It's like, but I hadn't got paid a royalty yet. And so it wasn't a validation for me until I got that first ASCAP. And keep in mind, the first ASCAP check, it wasn't monumental. It was a few $100s, right? But man, let me tell you, I could almost get emotional about it. I ain't, but I could because seeing that come in the mail and it's saying ASCAP on it, there was no Smash Coast music yet, so it just had my name on it. It was like, it was such a validation for me and such a relief, like a weight lifted off of me. Like seeing that check was, I could hear everybody that doubted, everybody that said I would be back in Phoenix in a year, everybody that was like LA is too expensive, like I didn't live here before. and just all the naysayers and doubters. I'm a dreamer and this and that, and like, all of that, right? And not only did I prove to myself that I can get compensated for my music, right? Which is like, that's all I wanted to do. Yeah, I wanted to be famous. I was trying to go do beats with Dre and all that. Um, but at the end of the day, I just wanted to be able to stay in that space and make music. I didn't want to go work somewhere else and be in an office or do none of that. I wanted to be able to make music and make money making music. I gave up the fame part, but I didn't want to give up the music part. And so getting that first check was like, okay, I've proven that this can happen, not only to myself, but to all of the people in my life that mattered to me. Those are like my loved ones, my close ones, and my loved ones were the ones that, are always the ones that you expect to have your back in situations like that. And then they don't, they don't be the ones that not support you and stuff, when you're going after your dreams. And so it was a particular validation for me that made me feel like Superman. It made me feel like Superman, and and it helped me. It gave me a level of confidence that, to be honest with you guys, I didn't have before. Because it was a sense of accomplishment. It's like I did that. I just did that. I did that. I busted my ass for this year. We got all our music, all this music on television, and now I got this Performance Rights Society paying me money. It's a wrap for me. Like, I was telling the music industry to kiss my butt at that point. I'm like, I'm not signing no record deal, no production deal with nobody. I'm gonna be able to do this and keep doing this, rinse and repeat, and it's gonna go where it's going. And I'm gonna tell you guys, it's still going. Smash Coast Music is not the final destination. Like, we're trying to evolve into Smash Coast Multimedia, where we're creating content, not just putting music in content. So we're talking about that with some folks right now, but I digress. I don't want to get, too off topic. Let's get back into the wins real quick, and then we're going to get into the writer strike, and we're going to get into the meat of the sandwich, and then we're going to get out of here and let you guys have your Friday. Yeah, see. Oh yeah, and that's GC Hit said that first yes is also a ride. That's what I'm saying, man. It's worth waiting. Fire emojis for that comment for sure. Cherry says, learning that it's not about being dope. In my heart, I wanted to be dope, but now it's just about giving the client what they want when they want it. Cause we all are dope. Well, um, in this particular community, I would say we are all dope. Like, there's a pretty high level of musicality, producermanship, or whatever. Let's make a word up for that. But don't get it twisted, Cherry. Like, no, man, sync or not sync, you are dope, period. Like, you're a dope producer. You're a dope producer. Don't get it twisted. And that's another thing I want to bring up real quick, that you mentioned that. Um, get yourself an artist, you producers out there. Um, put music out on the DSPs. Make music from your heart and your soul. Tell your stories. Make real music. Put that music out. Don't just do music for sync. A lot of that music that you make is gonna be used for sync, especially, telling stories and this and that. But the thing is that when you get time, I always want you to go in there and make music for no damn reason. Okay. Just to keep your sword sharp, just to keep you dope. You know, you can get in a rut doing this sync stuff. Trust me. There's been times where there's been months at a time where I just dreaded coming to the studio because I never made what I wanted to make. I was always working on a project for somebody. I wasn't just coming off the cuff. I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of beats that I've made away from sync. And I don't think I can make hardly any of them twice, because when I make when I produce something, it's it's such a creative process for me that, like, I don't think about it at all. It's 100% inspirational. I might think of something before I sit down. I might think of something like once I sit down and say, "Hey, let's cook something up," and I start following through sounds or drums or whatever. But the thing is that it's like, that's just the way that I cook. And then the opposite is when I'm working on a project for sync. But when I used to work on projects for Sync, I already know ahead of time, okay, they want EDM or they want this or they want that, or if there's a brief, it's very spelled out. So then I know I got to use these instruments. I got to da da da. It's dope to be able to do that. So you can't take away from yourself for being able to do that, take direction, and then create music from taking direction or filling a client's need musically is super, super dope. You have to have like, high talent level to be able to do that. But at the same time, you want to just be plain dope, period. You want to be able to turn it up when you want to turn it up. And then you want to just exercise your creativity. You want to make sure that you keep that part of your, that side of your brain function in the way, it's supposed to. 100% creativity. So I say the best way that you could do that is to get an artist and create songs, or be an artist and create songs and tell stories with these songs, and make that music go hand in hand with with those vocals, and make them complement each other and dance off of each other like, good production or good songs are supposed to, and keep your edge sharp. So yeah, that is a definite rant right there. And you are super dope, Cherry. But I agree with what you said. So once she says, "Hey guys, I'm a junior at USC SC Trojans, studying in communication and marketing. So glad to join the big fam. So glad to have you here. Hopefully Kim is not working you to death." Nah, Kim's gonna have you doing some dope stuff. Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson. Follow us, Kevin Johnson. So Phoenix Suns player, KJ. I'll follow you back if I'm not. And you're absolutely right. There's nothing like seeing that first royalty check. Let me go run through here real quick so I can speed through. I'm running my mouth too much today. Hold on. GC Hit says, "My win. I got 4 albums lined up to be released with different libraries in the next couple of months." So fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis for that. So you see GC Hits has been putting in that work. 4 albums. How many songs per album? Just out of my curiosity. Lined up release with different libraries in the next couple of months. One of those came with some upfront money. So that's a nice check to receive. Ain't it? Ain't it nice when you, isn't it nice? Got me way incorrect grammar on here. Isn't it nice when you get that upfront money? Isn't it nice when you get compensated a nice check up front first before anything happens? It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Um, I'm addicted to it myself. I love those upfront checks. The back end is cool. It's great. It's all great. You can't take away from any of it. But yeah, when they're like, here, that sync fee, that's upper level, man. When you start getting those upfront checks, that means you have elevated to the next level. You know, the beginning level, of course, is gratis. Okay, we'll take as many of your beats as you can send. We'll put them on TV. Yeah, we happy as hell. We want to get the beats on TV. Happy to hear our beats on TV. But eventually, you're gonna get used to hearing your beats on TV. A couple years down the road, you're gonna want one of them checks, or sooner than that. So beautiful thing, beautiful thing. So Garrett says that's true. I don't even make hip hop outside of work anymore since I associate the genre with work now. And see, that's bad, man, because like it's good that we're in the space now and we're getting to have, specific purpose for the music, but now you're going to start looking at the music differently because it's going to represent your income, a bag. So that could be just like you going to a factory and assembling something all day, or going to a restaurant and cooking something all day, or going somewhere, and doing a task all day. You ain't gonna be in love with that task unless you're in love with that task. And that's the tragedy of what we do. And that's what I don't want for you guys. I never ever want you guys to lose the love or forget why the hell you started making music in the first place. Sync wasn't on nobody's radar when we started producing music. We weren't thinking about sync. We was thinking about telling our stories and affecting the world with our music, whether it was, us just being famous or whatever. But you wanted the world to hear your music. You wanted it out there. You didn't want to do whatever it is you did and have it sit in your room or sit in a studio. You wanted to expose yourself to the world. And in doing that, you competed. you pitted yourself against the stuff that you were hearing. So you wanted to be as dope as Timbaland. You wanted to be as dope as Dre, or you wanted to be as dope as Just Blaze or Pharrell, or you wanted your songs as hot as this one or dope as that one or whatever. And you should still strive for that, because it can still happen. You producing music, like it don't matter how old you are producing music, like you get you one of these young artists and it could jump off, like it could really pop off for you, but you gotta keep your sword sharp. You gotta be able to make stuff that sounds relevant. You gotta be able to be edgy, you know, be able to do that ear candy. If you keep doing what you're told to do, which is this sync stuff, then you're gonna sound stale as hell when you try to go back and do that hot stuff. You're gonna sound stale as hell. You're gonna lose it 100%. You got to keep your sword sharp, and you got to keep that creative mind flowing. So don't just produce sync music. Don't just do what you're told to do with this music. You got to come out of your heart, come off the cuff, man. And then that in turn is going to translate into you being able to do better sync music. You're gonna have a a wider, more diverse palette to choose from, because when you get away from sync, you are over here not following the rules. You're not following time signatures or constraints or whatever. You're doing whatever the hell you want to do. You're experimenting with your production. You're trying things, different recipes or whatever. And that's how you stay dope. You keep your edge. Like you don't keep your edge by just doing what briefs tell you to do, right? So yeah, it's going to take some effort, because you know another bad thing about that can happen with sync is that you work from home now, right? So you're making money from home in your studio. Don't you remember when you guys first wanted to make a studio? You first put something in a room, a little bedroom or whatever, and it was like, oh, this is a lab. Like it was, your little foam on the wall or whatever it was where you started out. That was your spot. You needed your spot. You needed something to give you that energy, that ambiance, that put you in that vibe. When you wanted to make music or whatever, and it got to a point with me, like the house we were in Burbank a few years ago. I had the little bedroom in there, like just vibe, like it was just, oh, it was so dope. I loved it, right? Sound treated good, was nice and tight, you know, double pane windows all around, so the neighbors couldn't hear nothing. Like I was banging out in there, right? And it was so vibey, and made a lot of good music in there. Me and Tay did, but at the same time, there was stints of time where I didn't even want to go up in there because it was work. A lot of that time, I'd say like three-fourths of that time, I wasn't going in that room to rock out, to vibe out and do what I wanted to do. I was going in that room because a music super television, like it was time to work. And so there was times, even though I had this dope studio, I didn't even want to go in there. And that's tragic, because then you kind of forget where you came from. You forget you didn't have that at first. You didn't have equipment, you know. And so there should never be a day where I walk into my space and I don't feel that same, electricity, that same, yearning to want to be dope that I've always felt. And so, you know, I'm really competitive though. So I put myself against people a lot, and that helps me, keep my edge sharp as well. But, you know, didn't mean to go off on that, but like, yeah, I've seen that time and time again, dude. Once you guys start doing this sync for a while, it's gonna get stagnant. It's gonna get stagnant. Okay, I'm gonna go to work. It is work. Um, don't do that, man. Keep putting music out. Do your thing. So let me get back to the comments. Um, go back up here. And that's the Gary. Yeah, I don't make, yeah, exactly. Aglo said, that's real, man. I probably more gratifying than getting your first. There's nothing more gratifying than getting your first check, period. That's true. 100%. Kev says, I'm already following you. I'm back again 3 weeks in a row. I love it here. I will never forget you again, brother. Shout out to my sister, lady producer. Oh, that's right. Yeah, KJ Rose. That's right. Okay. I remember the Road 73. That's my bad. Y'all be switching up names on me. You see these grays, man. You can't do that to me. Have me in here thinking I'm starting to get senile and stuff. Cut it out, man. Keep them same names in here. Got me thinking. I'm like, oh, he's starting to lose it. What's up, Petro? How you doing? Don't worry about being late. I was 15 minutes late. I was streaming live on the wrong YouTube channel. So there you go there. I was 15 minutes. So Garrett says, thankfully, I'm into a lot of genres outside of sync. Love doing that early Y2K video game music. Yeah, dope. So Garrett says, helps me come back and experiment. Okay, I got them grays too. I was running from them, man. I went through that period. I was dyeing my hair, and I still might shave it off. I like, sometimes clean it up or whatever. But I was running from it. But like, yeah, it's starting to like even out like a little bit now. So I might go ahead and let it fill in. I'm happy it's even growing a little bit. I got an autoimmune situation that it makes my hair grow stupid. And so any little thing I can get, you can see, Anyway, what are we talking about, man? Let's go to this writer strike. I ain't trying to waste you guys' time, man. I'm talking about my beard and whatnot. Can't run from him. What's up, Tay? Tay was supposed to be in studio today, so he was probably out there putting out fires. So, okay, so writer strike, man. Let's get into it. So I assume the wins are over. You guys go ahead and pop in a couple wins if you want to. We back on. Oh, so the show? You're gonna have to text me and let me know. Tay got a placement coming up on. Go ahead and tell him, Tay, real quick in the comments. He's got a great placement coming up. Okay, so the paperwork came in. Dope. Okay, so it's official. You got that placement on Force coming up. What is it, tonight? Tomorrow night? Tonight? Oh, placement tonight on Power Force. The song is called Life and Death. Let's go ahead and start promoing that when we get off the live. He sent me the artwork a little bit ago, so we're gonna start promoting that today. And check it out tonight, man. Smash Coast in the house. So that's a win, man. What are you talking about? And it's on a great show. And you got money up front, correct? Did you get money up front? Getting paid money up front for that? I won't say the amount. I know the amount, but some G's, right? You got some G's coming? He says, Taekwon says, all right, writer strike is over, so let's get these things coming in. Fire emoji, fire. And see, that's what we're talking about today, Tay. We're gonna talk about staying ready so we don't have to get ready, and what kind of stuff is going to really appeal to the networks. Okay, so the networks, it's not like reality TV, how we've been surviving the last 3-4 months since the strike has been on, 5 months or whatever, few months. Scripted television tells a lot of different stories, up stories, down stories. There's even game shows, on network television. But we're gonna talk about the scripted stuff. CBS, for instance, I'll give you guys an example. Okay, so you know that Smash Coast, we work very closely with CBS. Shout out to Sam over there at CBS, one of the head music soups. CBS was a tough nut to crack because of the type of content that they have. If you watch CBS, you're not going to hear a lot of hip hop or even that much urban music at all. Okay. So you're going to have to be skilled in some other styles, and then you're going to have to be hip to tension cues, because they use a lot of tension cues. Scripted television is tension, a lot of tension in scripted. Um, they call the music that we use in, say, like reality shows, like Love and Hip Hop and that kind of stuff, tension. They do use tension, but most of the time it's just beats that we use that they use in the background. Every once in a while you'll hear some real tension, you know, but for the most part, network scripted television is a lot of tension, or full songs, right? So if you don't have tension, um, I would say get your tension up. So that's what we're gonna do right now while I have you guys on here, because I'm sure some of you guys are like, well, crap, tension. Like, what do I even, what direction do I even go to even, to do that? So let's uh let's ask the homie. If you guys know who the homie is, put it in the comments real quick. You guys should know who the homie is when I go ask questions. So who's the homie? Let's see. Give me 20 styles of tension music used in scripted. You already know Sagara and ChatGPT. Oh yeah. Okay. Because I don't I always like to know what I'm talking about when I open my mouth. And sometimes I just want to, just get some references to be on point. Okay, so let's look at some of these to see if they're on point. So far we got suspenseful strings, pulsing percussion, electronic ambient. Okay, so let's go back up to the top. Suspenseful strings, slow, eerie string arrangements that build anticipation. Okay, so yeah, we got the holidays coming up. So definitely stuff. Have you seen the uptick in like scary movies and stuff that they've been promoting for the last month or so? It's because Halloween's coming. And so that's 100% dark tension. You know, a lot of you guys should have had, 2, 3 months ago, should have submitted 2 or 3 dark tension albums to the libraries. They would have ate them up, and they would be getting placed right now where you're hearing a bunch of stuff. A lot of the brands, the cereal brands, they're doing Halloween themed commercials and stuff. And so there's like, there's tension. Pulsing percussion, intense rhythmic beats that create a sense of urgency. Okay. Electronic ambient, synthesized sounds and drones that generate an unsettling atmosphere. Dark orchestral, a full orchestra with ominous melodies and deep brass accents. And then I'll do one more. Minimalistic tension. This is like one that they use a lot. Um, One where there's like hardly anything going on. Like, you know, hold on. You don't hardly need any instruments in it. Sparse instrumentation with subtle creeping melodies. So, um, and I could go on and on and on. Like, so Chat GPT, for those of you that don't know, is what just gave me these 20, and then I could ask for 20 more, and I could ask for 20 more. The first one it gave me was suspenseful strings, and the 20th one was epic battle buildup, intense escalating music for impending conflict or showdown. So tension music does exactly what the title implies. It creates tension, it creates the vibe, the mood, it supports what's going on visually, right? And this is the meat of TV music. It's not our songs, it's not our beats, it's tension. Tension is the tension is probably the main course, and everything else besides tension is like, the salad and the beans and the mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese and stuff. But that bird on in front of us that get carved up, that meat, that main dish, that's tension for television. So if you're not making tension, right, you missing the bag. Period. You need to be making tension music along with everything else that you're doing. Straight up. Because that's what the meat of the sandwich is right there. That's what it is. So going back to scripted network television, there you go. You want to have success with these libraries? Yeah, keep submitting your songs, keep submitting your stylized urban beats and stuff, your trailerized and like, yeah, you keep fighting with all limbs, but just know what it is. Music, I mean, television operates mainly on tension cues, you know. Music is supposed to be in the background, and that background music is supposed to support or give the feel or the vibe to whatever it is on that screen. And most of that doesn't need a vocal in it. Most of that doesn't need an 808 or no tripled up hi-hats or no, beat smacking in the sometimes it could just be a piano and that's it. Not even going ham, not even doing a bunch of stuff, just like a basic melody or a string or a drone sound or something. But matched with the appropriate media, then that vibe is going to be, on point. And that's what it is right there. So you guys want to be ready for the networks to come back and to really start paying these network royalties. Because I'm going to tell you, networks more times than not pay money up front. Okay. So you'll get the sync fees with networks and scripted. Trust me. And the royalty rates are best on networks. That's where all the royalties are: CBS, ABC, NBC, and then cable, you know, broadcast cable. That's where the money is. So you guys want the good royalties. You want the stuff that repeats and pays you money up front more times than and probably not, or at least half the time. Um, you want to aim for the networks. How do you get into the networks and really, really, kick butt? Tension and create albums. Do an album at a time. Do 10 tracks at a time. Um, and pitch them that way. And it's the same rules apply. So if you're not used to making tension, find an area, a lane that you feel comfortable in, a style that you feel comfortable doing, that you feel like you can knock out proficiently and be really, really good at, and start pitching yourself that way. The libraries are gonna love you. The libraries are gonna love you. If you're sending them tension albums, they're gonna love you because that's their bread and butter. That's how they eat. That's the main reason these the production companies go to them is for the tension music. A lot of libraries don't specialize, even though they have artist music, they don't specialize in curating current artists, trending artists. They basically get the music that they can get, but you don't really see a lot of artists getting approached by APM or approached by libraries or whatever. They usually get music submitted to them. So they'll take it and they use it and it does get pitched and you guys should send it. And we, like I said, fight with all limbs. But if you're really trying to get ahead, really trying to get ahead of the people out there that's not in this live or the people that aren't getting game like you guys are getting, um, do tension cues. Do the tension cues and make that a normal part of your production process, a normal part of your get down, and you're gonna win. Trust me. And the more you can do, the better. So let me go over here. Me and KJ was just talking about tension cues last night. That's where you're trying to eat at for real. So Garrett says, I've made some tension cues that were just single notes and octaves. They can be very simple comp wise, composition wise. Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, to the untrained ear, it could sound like nothing. But when you put it behind, somebody creeping through a house with all the lights out, because they heard a noise downstairs and they haven't seen that person yet, it don't take much. A simple drone, just to add that element. You can make a whole album of them and call it Scary Drones. And how long would it take you to do that? Omnisphere alone can make you 50 albums of tension cues, man. You know, so you guys trying to win. If you really want to say that you create music for television, that you're a professional sync music creator, or you create production music, then you got to be a professional tension cue creator. You know, not artists, but I'm talking about you producers. You producers, composers. Unless you're trying to get into a specific lane, trailers or film score, that kind of thing. But you guys working in the TV space, getting your music on TV. If you're a producer, tension cues is what's going to get your income up. Tension cues is what is really going to get you that level of respectability within the industry, because turning in tension cues albums shows that you really have a deep understanding of what you're doing. You're creating music for media. You're not just creating music and wanting your music to get placed, your hip hop or your songs. You're creating music specifically for, media to use. And once they get that, they're never going to let you go. They're never going to let you go. They're going to keep coming back to you forever. Your opportunities are going to open up. The floodgates are going to open up. And I'm going to be so happy for y'all. And we're just going to just rain down fire emojis on everybody. But I didn't have a ton, but that's what I wanted to let everybody know about the network stuff. I should have told you guys this a long time ago, so that's my bad. Um, so when the strike was over, you guys would already have 20 Tension Q albums done. I'm sure if I had been screaming that a few months ago, a few of you guys would have done that. So that's my bad for neglecting to let you know that. But right now, it's never too late. Get that game up, get those Tension Q albums up, keep doing everything else that you're doing, do what your specialty is, but do the tension cues, man, and lean on each other. If some of you guys are doper at it than others, help the ones that aren't as good, because there's way more than enough opportunities for all of you guys to eat doing tension cues, especially with networks. If you watch, if it's tonight, okay, tonight on CBS, what's the lineup tonight on CBS? Hold on, I don't guess anything. Tonight's schedule on CBS. What is the TV schedule on CBS tonight? Okay, let's see. TV listings. Okay, so at 8 o'clock, we got Celebrity Renovations. So that's tension. 9 o'clock, we got Fire Country, tension. They might use some songs. Blue Bloods, tension. Not going to use any songs. So yeah, it's prime time, 8 to 10. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock, they got NCIS Hawaii. So that's tension with some Hawaiian sound and stuff. 9 p.m., 48 hours, tension, no songs. 10 p.m., 48 hours, tension, no songs. Sunday, 7 p.m., 60 minutes, tension. 8 p.m., Yellowstone, tension. 9 p.m., Yellowstone, tension. Big Brother, background music. So yeah, man, network stuff is 100% tension. There's gonna be some songs thrown in there here and there, but it's tension music. So we're in-house at CBS, so you guys doing tension, we can definitely get tension on. But we're in-house with sports too as well. So if you're doing specialty sports music, you can get on with us on the sports side as well. But that's the thing right there, man. That's the bulk of what the networks are going to be looking for. No different than before the strike. Um, but just giving you guys some insight now so you know where the money is and what kind of stuff to make for the money. And then also just how you want to be viewed in the space. You want to know, you want people to look at you and know that you know what you're doing. And so, once they see you guys dropping tension albums, it's a wrap. Watch, you see, don't tell anybody. You guys just start doing it. You guys see the space. We're all on IG together and threads together. We see who's doing what or whatever. So you guys start dropping tension albums, and then watch, you're gonna see other people start dropping tension albums after y'all. Right? Not a bad thing. We all learning from each other, but you know, I told you guys a couple lives ago, this is a competition. We are competing. So each and every one of you needs to be trying to be first and beat everybody else. Even the people here on the live that you guys are cool with, don't let nobody beat you, you know. So take this information that you're getting and be the first one with a dope tension album done next week. So let's see. So Garrett says tension is also used a lot in games with enemies. See, there you go. So Garrett says, I remember a video Clint made a while back that was literally him holding one note in Omnisphere. Yeah, exactly. And he probably got a placement with it. He probably showed it to you as a placement that he got. I think I remember that. Cherry says, I'm trying a new technique making tension cues, making them faster but still quality. Yeah, however you need to get them done. All I say is don't overthink them because there's a simplicity with them. They're so simple to do a lot of the time that you will overthink it and think you have to do more than you have to do. But, you know, you can knock them out, man. Especially if you can play a little bit, you got a little key game going on, you can knock them out. Pedro says, how long should tension cues be? Um, to be honest with you, I wouldn't do on average a minute and a half. It could be like a couple minutes, depending on what type it is. But really, especially if it's just a one note thing or something super simple, there's no changes or whatever, do like a minute and a half, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, couple minutes tops. But really, a minute and a half, if it's simple, is good enough. Yeah, Cherry says 2 minutes. Like, yeah, at the most, but like a minute and a half is a minute and a half. The majority of the tension references I was sent by a library were in the 1 minute to 140 range, with the longest being 221. Exactly. They're like a minute to a minute and a half, and like rarely you'll get a 2 minute when it's a specialty or something, something different. But on average, a minute to minute. When you're doing albums on your own with no direction, a minute and a half. If you're doing a 130 to 140, that's perfect. 130 to 140. How many tracks are normally in a tension album? 7 to 10. You could probably do a million of them, but you want to be able to keep doing albums. So say like you stayed up all night and knocked out 80 tension cues, so that's 8 albums. Or if you're doing seven, I would even do more. I would do probably 7, 8 tracks per album, and be able to do more albums. That's just me though. It's just, that's not in concrete, but I wouldn't do any more than 10. Shout out to Rhodes. Yeah, 130, man. 130 Cherry, 130 to 140, you good. Tension, get in and get out. See, the thing is like this. It's like if you're making a piece of music, say a song or a full instrumental that has different elements in it. So you got, A, B section, hooks, that kind of stuff or whatever, right? That's gonna be like 2 minutes, no more than 2.5 minutes. And that's just because there's different elements in that track and you don't know what part they are going to use. All of those different elements are usable parts in that track. And so you send it in. But with tension cues usually don't have all them changes in it. Tension cues might have like a couple of things, like they might rise or build to something, but it's just a cue, right? It's just for attention. So there's not a lot of different stuff going on. And so it doesn't need to be that long. You can get the point across in a few seconds with a tension cue. Um, and so, yeah, a minute and a half, you good. Get in and get out. It's dope, huh? The fact that they're easier to make, you can make them faster, they're not as long, they're simpler, and the TV uses tension cues more than anything. I think I just gave y'all a cheat code. I don't know, without even cheating. All right, Revision, man. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by, man. We appreciate you. Have a good day. Be safe out there. Thank you. I had no idea the structure of the album. It's all good, man. We got you. Anything less than 10, anything, if you're doing songs, anything less than 10 tracks is an EP. Anything more than 10 is an album. So that's it there, y'all. That's the big, I wanted to tell you guys. If you guys are trying to be prepared for this wave of placements that's coming, and best believe it's coming because these music supervisors, these companies have been chomping at the bit to get their income stream back, get this money back going. Now, especially since the union has made some, revisions for them, and they're going to be getting a bigger bag and better conditions and this and that. They can't wait to get back to work. I can't wait till they get back to work. It's gonna be dope. But just know this: there's gonna be a ton of licensing opportunities for you guys, and I want you guys to be prepared for it. So those of you guys that are creating songs, keep creating songs, keep telling those stories. Remember, mid to up tempo is what you want to stay with. Um, Definitely, you music producers and composers, make it a habit to do tension cues on the regular. Don't not do it, because that's basically what television background music is tension. Film as well, video games, as was mentioned in here, Segura. Um, so yeah, just stay ready so you don't gotta get ready. You know, the floodgates are about to open. So there it is there. Any questions? You guys with me? Give me one in the comment if you with me, and hit me with any questions, and we'll go ahead and wrap up, man. I'm not even gonna hold you guys too much today. I just wanted to make sure you guys know that in order to achieve the highest level of success, there's a certain route you got to go. And if you guys are trying to take advantage of this floodgate of stuff that's opening up with these networks, you know, it's going to be songs, like, we're pitching songs as well. Um, but tension, man, tension. If you produce and you're trying to get those royalties up, that back end going, tension albums, the libraries, and if you can get direct to the networks, then get direct to the networks. The networks like to use the libraries because there's just no issues. Like it's a one-stop situation for them, so that's what they do. And yeah, that's it. So if there's no Q&A, then we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Everybody pretty much left right now anyway. So, and I don't blame y'all, man. It's a nice Friday out. We're about to get out of here. Oh, okay, Segura. I was about to say, I was going into my bye-bye. What's up, Segura? How you doing? I appreciate that, KJ, man. That's why I do it. For comments like what you just said. Because boy, I bumped my head and scraped my ass a lot because we didn't have these type of communities when I was coming up. So producers saved my company. Producers made it possible for me to do what I'm doing. So I'm always gonna give back to producers. That's just for the rest of my life. That's what I'm gonna do. Have you noticed a difference in how Segura says? Have you noticed a difference in how often something gets synced based on its title? Hmm. Let me think about that. To be honest with you, I can't say that I have. I'm not going to say that how you title something doesn't make a difference, but I don't think it's something that you should put a lot of weight on, because there's a lot of other factors like who's reading that title. Um, if they're using AI to search their catalogs, and when I say they, I mean music libraries, right? The music libraries find the hashtags, they find the keywords in the metadata. Um, if the title of the song happens to coincide with what the song is about and happens to be in the same neighborhood as some of those keywords, then I could see the song or piece of music getting placed more because it's just getting found more because of the title, being glued together. So, but if you're naming stuff just some abstract name, and then but you're still really good at your keyword game, at your metadata game, um, then it's still gonna get found, but I would imagine that, probably not as much because the title of the song isn't gonna relate to the content of the song. And again, I'm just throwing it out there. So if and I'm talking about AI, so if you're talking about an actual person looking these songs up, let me put myself in a place. I'm just trying to answer your question to the best of my ability. And put myself in that place. I'm looking through a playlist now and I'm thinking, okay, and I'm reading like yeah, yeah, you know what? I think if I'm working on a specific piece of media, say like a Halloween something, and then I look at a title and the title says, scared shitless or whatever, or like ghosts and goblins or whatever, then I'm gonna be automatically grab that and be like, okay, this is obviously something for Halloween or obviously something scary, But if it's an old, it doesn't have a title like that, I'm gonna look over it. So to answer your question now, I'm gonna no, I haven't, but I imagine in an automated system like a library, you're gonna take less hits, you know, with your title being, maybe mistitled. Um, Less hits meaning like you're still gonna get placements and it's not gonna damage you as much. Um, because there's keywords in there that's describing the music. But if an individual like a music soup is picking your music out of a playlist to send to editors or whatever, then yeah, the way you titled this stuff is probably going to make a difference because they're time crunched and they're reading titles and they're going to just scroll down and yeah. So yeah, I'm glad you asked me that because you see me, I just pieced myself through that whole scenario. Like I was like, oh, okay, like you know, so yeah, I just pieced myself through that whole thing. So yeah. Shout out to Segura with the great question. So yeah, I think how you title your pieces can definitely make a difference. Our company's still waiting on the carrot strike to conclude. Carrot strike, actor strike. The actors, nah, because as soon as the actors are just on strike as solidarity with the writers, they didn't have to go on strike. They're just doing it. So as soon as the writers get back to work, the actors did want some better conditions or whatever, they're gonna get back to work. They're not waiting for nobody. I don't think it's time for all of this nonsense to stop. So Garrett says, such as titles that begin lower in the alphabet versus higher. Oh, so you talking about stuff that's getting searched alphabetically? Have never heard of anything like that. Your stuff gets searched for keywords. The libraries hashtag your keywords based on the vibe or the feel of what's going on in that piece of music. It's never alphabetical. I've never heard that before. Time to be sync ready. Nico, what's up? Hi guys. Couldn't have been here before. I was working, but I always watch it. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Very glad to have you. Yes, Agara, I just actually spoke my way through a problem right there. And we worked it out together, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. But I'm not gonna hold y'all. What's up, Nico? We're right at the end though, man. So today's live wasn't a ton of information, but it was very, very useful information that you guys need to have if you're trying to be prepared to take advantage of this floodgate that's about to open with these placements. I'm telling you, these music supervisors, production companies, they can't wait to get back on television. These writers can't wait to get back to work. You know, they can't wait to start using this music. The libraries can't wait to start, getting music used from the networks. Like, you know, Everything is clogged up and it's about to be unclogged, and there's about to be opportunities and money flowing for all of us. Isn't that beautiful, boys and girls? But that's what's up. I'm just running my mouth, y'all. No more questions. I'll talk to y'all next Friday. Y'all stay up. Be safe out there. I'm the producer, Whisper. Peace.